Hi, I'm David Kelly from Education Choice Training. Just going to explain quickly to you a bit about the PSA application process. It's not that complicated. There's a couple of basic rules. First of all, make sure you've got the right document. You can download that from the PSA website. Very simple to find it, psa.gov.ie. And in that you'll actually find this document, okay? It's called a new license application. It looks very complicated, but it isn't. It will take you 1 hour to fill it out correctly. Now, page 2 just basically gives you the rules. And the rules are very simple. You just use a black pen, use block capital letters, and write it as clear as possible. You will need 2 things to basically complete this application properly. The first one is a training record, a TRF record. Now, your training provider, whether it's Education Choice Training or somebody else, they will give you that when you complete your course. It must be the original document signed by the trainer. The second one is your criminal clearance certificate. You only need that if you are not from Ireland or have lived abroad for more than 6 months. It is not a complicated procedure. For example, if you're from Brazil, there's a procedure with the Brazilian embassy. If you're from Lithuania, there's a procedure from the Lithuanian embassy. If you're from Latvia, same thing. If you're from Romania, the same thing. All the countries have their procedures. Same as Pakistan, same as India. They all are familiar with this. So, worst way to get it, which is probably the easiest way to get it, go on to Google, type in criminal clearance Romania, and that will tell you how to get it. Or speak to your friend. Or if you do your training with Education Choice, you could talk to Colm, who's the manager. He does this normally on a Friday, every Friday, but only for Education Choice training candidates. The document, alright, has all the rules and regulations, but do not worry. They're all very clear, alright? All it is basically, if you go onto it, first page is there. It says license application form. First thing you need is a passport size photograph. Stick it on there with glue and put it there. Make sure it doesn't fall off. Tick my first license. Tick it. And then put your name in. Mr. Gindaras Vadaras if you're from Lithuania. Alright? And where you live now. Make it nice and clear. Use all the 4 lines. Remember, they will write to you at this address. So it must be correct. Your date of birth. In Ireland, we do the days first, the month and the year. And your PPS number. Your PPS number is the most important bit of information you'll ever have working in Ireland. Date of birth, date first, month, year. Email. Give them an email that they can read. Okay? If they can't read it, they can't communicate. Nationality. Where are you from? Are you Lithuanian? Are you Irish? Put it in there. Simple. Second page. This is critical. If you have been offered a job, it will make it faster for you. Do you want? Okay? I hope you're listening to this. This is the key bit. It says employer details. So if a company like Brinks or G4S or Delta or OCS or ISS give you a job, they can help you by putting in the name of their company, their address, and their license number. Down below, you decide which licenses do you want. If you're just doing a door course, you just click in the door with the black pen. The government will charge you 130. If you're doing static, alright, just tick static and they'll charge you €80. That's the government charging you that. If you're doing both courses, tick the both and they'll charge you 190. They give you a little discount if you are doing the 2 courses. Take my advice. If you can do the 2 courses together, it's a better way to go. It's the cheapest way to do the training, and it means you only have to do this paperwork once. Then down the bottom, you tell them how do you want to pay. So check or postal order. I would probably always go check if you have a checkbook, because then you know when they cash it that they got it. Or a postal order. The procedure for the postal order is, if you're buying one for €80, you go to the post office and you say, I want to buy a postal order for €80. They will charge you €2 or €3 for that. They will give you back a blank check and you write in PSA licensing section. PSA licensing section. And you put that in the envelope with your application. Next page over. Any other information? Most people don't fill this in, but I would put down something like, I would like to work in the industry. I have experience maybe in the army or customer service. I'm interested. Okay, why not? And then down here, you sign your declaration. You put your name in block capital letters and you sign it. You date it. And then you put your telephone number in and your mobile number. And you make sure that the person can read them. Alright? Then we have the checklist. This frightens most people, but it'll take you 2 seconds. Let me explain about the checklist. You go, okay, you must have the application form, which you've completed. You must have the fee, the €80, or the 130, or the 190. You must have a colour copy of your passport. Alright? If you do your training at Education Choice, we will give you, if you bring your passport, we will colour photocopy it for you. Alright, if you have a GNIB card, some of you might have a GNIB card, you might have a stamp 2 or a stamp 4, whatever it is, put a copy in there. And then your vetting form, which I will explain to you in 2 minutes. If you've spent 6 months abroad, you must have the criminal clearance. And then finally, okay, the copy of your FETAC cert or the letter. Now, most of you will only have the letter after doing the training, because all centres only give out certificates every 2 to 3 months, because that's how the education system works in Ireland. All the centres, we upload the information, put it on the computer and send it to QQI, and then they issue the certificates. And then we have a checklist, just to make sure that you have everything. You just go tick, I have the application form, I have the fee, and I've done the vetting. The other bit down here, it's not for you. Alright? Next page, we're nearly there now. More instructions, alright, but I'm going to save you reading them a little bit. Wait a second. This is now the vetting page. Now, this only applies, really, it's a very simple document. You put your name in, okay, surname, say if it was me, Kelly. Forename, which is first name, David. Date of birth, 19th of April 67, place of city of origin, Dublin. Have you ever changed your name? I haven't, so I put in no. Then, all it's asking you for is all the places you have lived since you were born. It sounds dreadful, alright? You'd be going, where the hell did I live? They're only looking for addresses where you were permanent. They're not looking if you spent 2 weeks in the Costa del Sol, alright? Or 3 weeks, wherever, alright? So if you were born in, say, Riga, you would put in your house number, born 1978, you stay there till 1995. Then you move to London, maybe London for 15 years, and then Dublin. Now, if you were living in London, you would need to produce a criminal clearance from London, because obviously you were there for more than 6 months. But most people should maybe only have 5 or 6 addresses. Alright, most people. Our experience in Education Choice is that people have 5, 6, maybe 7 or 8. Let's not overcomplicate it, okay? So, and there cannot be any gaps. If there's a gap, the gentleman down in Tipperary who checks the paperwork gets nervous. And would you blame him? Alright, he wonders, where were you? There cannot be a gap, otherwise it'll be returned to you. Next page. Have you been convicted, okay, of any crime in Ireland? And you go, no, that's okay. And then you might just sign it and date it. If you were convicted, alright, of something, you must put it in there. Alright? They will take your application overall and they will decide, okay? It's a fair process. The way they do it is fair. They're regulators. They cannot do anything unfair. They're not there to punish you for something that maybe happened 20 years ago. They will be very fair. That's our experience. Alright? The rest of it down here is all for them. And that basically is it. Now, we've finished with the document, yes? The document is finished. You're happy. Alright? You have your application filled out. You've got your postal order which you got from the post office, which is €80 or 130 or 190. Now, what you must do, put them in a nice brown envelope, goes to the PSA licensing section. PSA, Davis Street, Tipperary, County Tipperary. And if you are dealing with state bodies, you must register the document. If you do not register the document, it may go missing and you lose all your paperwork. Hopefully this has explained the process to you. It's not that difficult. It may take them 2 weeks to come back to you, 4 weeks to come back, 6 weeks to come back. Everybody always asks me, David, how long is it going to take? And I say to them very simply, the better your paperwork, the quicker it comes back. I hope this presentation has been of interest to you. It's been loaded up here on YouTube. You can watch it again, and if you do train with us at Education Choice, there is the option to come in and we will help you as much as we can. Anyway, best of luck to you. Hope your career in security goes very well. Thank you.